Ready to unpack another holiday classic.
Always. What have we got this time?
This time it's Elf.
Elf. Ah, a modern Christmas staple.
Exactly. And today's deep dive, we're going beyond just it's funny.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We've got a great detailed movie review to help us out.
Love it. A fresh perspective.
So quick recap for anyone who hasn't seen it. Buddy's a human, raised as an elf.
Right. At the North Pole, no less.
Exactly. And he heads to New York City to find his real dad, a total cynic.
Talk about a fish out of water story.
Big time. But what makes it work so well? That's what we're getting into.
All right, let's dive in.
So this review, it really zeroes in on Will Ferrell's performance as being like the key ingredient.
Yeah, he's brilliant in it.
It's not just his comedic timing, though, right?
Right, it's deeper than that.
It's that childlike wonder that he just nails.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? It's infectious.
Oh, totally. You get swept up in it.
It makes us, and us grown-ups, remember that feeling?
That sense of awe.
Yes. Like when Buddy experiences snow for the first time.
It's so pure.
You can't help but smile.
And, I remember just cracking up when he's in that revolving door.
Oh, classic.
But it's also kind of heartwarming,
Definitely. It's like, yeah, he's over the top, but you're rooting for him the whole time.
That sweetness just shines through.
Totally agree. And the review, it makes a great point. Farrell commits to the absurd.
He doesn't hold back at all.
Not one bit. It's like he IS Buddy, not just playing him.
And that's what sells those crazy moments. Right?
Yeah, it makes them believable.
Even endearing. I think of those scenes with his dad.
Oh, James Caan.
Yes. Speaking of, the casting is incredible. This review points that out, too.
Phenomenal choices all around.
Caan and Zooey Deschanel, perfect fits.
Like they were born for those roles.
It's like they took Sonny Corleone and gave him a stocking full of coal for Christmas.
Ah, that gruffness, just amazing.
Bouncing off Buddy's enthusiasm, pure comedic gold.
You nailed it. And Caan provides that grounded cynicism.
Right, which Buddy needs.
He's the straight man to Buddy's, buddiness.
And Deschanel as Jovi, she brings that warmth.
And vulnerability, don't forget that.
Their scenes together are just magic.
Pure magic. And speaking of magic, we got to talk about the look of the film.
Oh yeah, the visuals.
The review really delves into that.
Right, that mix of practical effects and stop-motion animation.
So unique, so well done.
They even compared it to the classic holiday specials.
I get the nostalgia factor, but is there more to it?
I think so. There has to be.
Well, the review brings up a fascinating point. See, the stop motion, it's like those old Rankin Bass specials.
Rudolph and Frosty, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And it taps into a visual language we associate with childhood.
Ah, so it's deeper than just nostalgia.
Right. It's about reaching that primal sense of wonder.
And that makes the whole film feel timeless.
Exactly. Because it's connecting with something universal.
And you know what? That visual style, it really underlines a key point the review makes.
Go on, I'm listening.
That Elf isn't just about laughs. It's about recapturing that belief, that magic.
The magic of Christmas.
And that brings us to the director, Jon Favreau.
Oh, Favreau, brilliant.
The review was super complimentary, wasn't it?
Absolutely. They praised his ability to balance the crazy with the sincere.
Kind of like he did with Iron Man later on.
Great comparison. It's that same big heart, but applied to Elf.
And it grounds the fantastical elements.
Like when Buddy decorates his dad's office, total chaos, but
it was this genuine desire to connect.
That's what makes it work.
Now, the review talks about the humor working on different levels, but
what? I'm curious.
Does it still hold up today? It's been almost 20 years since Elf came out.
That's a good question, and the review actually tackles that.
Interesting. What did they say?
They argued that Elf's staying power comes from its heart.
Ah, so more than just the jokes.
Right. The core themes, family, belonging, believing, those are timeless.
And the visual style, we talked about, that adds longevity, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It all works together.
Now, I get what they say about sentimentality.
Yeah, the heartwarming stuff.
But sometimes it gets a little too much for me, honestly.
Too sweet.
Yeah. Did the review mention anything about that?
They did acknowledge that some might find the humor over the top.
Okay, that's fair.
Or the sentimentality a bit, saccharine. We'll sure agree. But their point is, these are choices, stylistic choices.
It's all intentional, part of what makes the film unique.
Precisely. It's not trying to be subtle. It wants to be like those classic Christmas specials.
They're worse, often over the top themselves.
Exactly. It's part of that tradition.
That's a really good point. Makes me see those moments in a new light.
That's what we like to hear.
So, bottom line, the review gave Elf a 9 out of 10.
A solid score.
Joyous and hilarious, they called it.
And they loved how it rekindles the Christmas spirit.
Hard to argue with that.
It's definitely effective.
All right, so we've dug into why Elf is such a holiday favorite.
From Ferrell's amazing performance to that unforgettable supporting cast.
We covered the unique visuals, those themes of family and belonging.
The heart, the humor, it's all there.
Sometimes a bit much, but always entertaining.
So here's something to think about.
Oh, I like where this is going.
What about your favorite holiday movies? Do they have any of these elements?
That's a good one.
Why do certain techniques resonate so strongly with us during the holidays?
And how does Elf, with all its quirks and charm, appeal to such a wide audience?
So many questions, so little time.
That's something to ponder as you revisit Elf this holiday season.
Pay attention to those details we talked about. You might just discover something new.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Happy holidays and happy watching, everyone.
See you next time.